Hi there movie fans, and welcome to Movies. This time I'm going to give you a list of my worst films of 2023. Now let's make some rules here. If it looks really bad, then I probably didn't watch it. Hell, I don't have enough time to watch all the good ones, so I'm not going to use up my precious time on iffy films. The criteria for this list is films I watched that disappointed me. I normally watch something if I think I might like it or it looks good, or it's been recommended to me by someone I know or another reviewer or fan. I haven't had the heart to put these in any order at all because I really can't be bothered to put them in a 1 to 10 rating. It's just a random list. Now this obviously is all down to my personal taste at the end of the day, and if it's on my list I will briefly explain why it's here and why it disappointed me. And we start with Slaughterhouse, recommended to me by a friend who saw a good review of it in a newspaper. So we both sat and watched this dross together, and in the end neither of us liked it. It's the most stupid movie I've seen for a while, and it's not even well made. There's awful acting and a stupid sloth. The plot's poor. I think maybe it was supposed to be funny in the way that Cocaine Bear was, but it certainly missed the spot, and there's no laughs here. I've now got Luther, the Fallen Son. Well, I loved Luther, the TV programme, so I was really up for this. What a disappointment. I sat through this 2-hour joke and wondered why they even called it Luther. I mean, apart from Idris Elba, it's nothing like the Luther I love. It's got a really weak plot, which is completely the opposite of the TV series. It's got hammy acting and, well, let's just leave it there, shall we, while I erase it from my memory. I've now got a movie called Bottoms. Well, this was highly recommended by reviewer Mark Kermode, amongst others. Now, I like a good high school juvenile humour movie, of which this wasn't. The leads were awful, and it made me cringe. The rest of the cast were awful, and I don't think I laughed even once. I really find it hard to see why this is rated so well by others, but I guess that they are easily pleased. I've now got Rebel Moon Part 1. Well, I felt like I was watching a pound shop version of Star Wars. Take several ideas already done in other popular films of the past and hack a script to copy them, but badly. There is not an ounce of originality here, and I think Plagiarism Moon would have been a much better title for this poor attempt. Which is a shame, as there obviously was some money available here, but alas, it was all wasted on visuals rather than script or actors. I've also got In the Court of the Crimson King, which is King Crimson at 50, a documentary that should have been great and informative. But what we ended up with was a self-conceited vanity project from Robert Fripp. If you're a fan of the band and you know some of the history, this does not tell you anything new. This is an 86-minute documentary of self-admiration from Fripp. Yes, we know it's your band, Mr. Fripp, and there's no need to tell us over and over. Now, the best documentaries are done by an outsider who, most importantly, has a free rein on the subject. But this whole thing is clearly controlled by Robert Fripp and his ego. And it pays little attention to the music. Oh, and it's boring. It's a music doc without the music. And now here I am about to ruffle some feathers. This one's a very controversial pick, and it's Everything Everywhere All at Once. And yes, I know it won the Oscar. And yes, some of the fight scenes were good with loads of adrenaline. But having loads of fight scenes and then wondering what to throw into the gaps to make it cohesive does not make a good movie for me. I found it quite a mess. Fight, then a bit of chat, then another fight, then a bit of chat, then another fight, then another bit of chat, and so on. It reminded me of the way that the John Wick movies are getting now, where it's all about fight scenes. And then secondary, there's an afterthought of a story to try and link them together. For me, I could watch Everything Everywhere All at Once with the sound off and not lose anything in this very overrated mess. I've got Piggy, which is an early release from the start of 2023, and it's a Spanish horror movie about an overweight teen who is bullied. Again, another film that was recommended to me by a friend. Now, we've all seen revenge films before, and this is no better than any of those. In fact, this is total nonsense with huge plot holes, but I suppose so is most horror, to be honest. It's got a stupid ending, and it's a below average horror that I wish I had missed. To sum it up, it's a pig of a movie. My friend still liked it, and I didn't. Each to their own, I suppose. Now, next on my list is Black Adam, and this was pretty bad. I think I'm tiring of these DC/Marvel superhero movies, and they're beginning to annoy me. There's so many of them, and they're all so similar. They all use the same formulaic look with overused CGI, and it's all beginning to look so tired. Another pointless movie to cash in on the genre which once was popular, and now it's on the decline. It all seems dumbed down for the younger audience. Bland Adam would have been a better title for this. Now I've got Dungeons and Dragons: Honor Among Thieves. This looks like a movie made in the 80s in its style and script. It's so old hat that even CGI can't save it. All the effects look so poorly done, and I was so bored. It's not, I repeat, not Guardians of the Galaxy, so be warned. It's not at all funny. There are some good actors in this, but they're wasting their talent. It's a very childish attempt. I'm sure the target audience they were aiming at must have been between 9 and 10 years old. And if that was true, then they succeeded, because this is for kids. I've got Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Now, this should have been what we needed after some of the dross we've had to suffer lately. But no. I loved the early movies, and sure, I wanted more. This was not it. They've been getting poorer and poorer, and now we've got this nonsense. This should have been called Indiana Jones and How to Ruin a Legacy. There's no indie spark. It's gone. And when you get to the ending, it's just, how stupid. Did they really have nothing better in their script drafts? You just sit there and you cry out loud, what? I hate to say it, but this franchise is now dead. It was like a funeral. So there were my worst movies of 2023. Some of these may not have been as bad for you, so maybe I should have called this my disappointments of 2023. I don't necessarily hate them. Well, not all of them. But to me, they were all poor for their own reasons and should have been much better. I'm sure that there were worse movies out there in 2023 that are not on this list. But thankfully, I didn't see them. It was actually very depressing making a worst list, as I realised how much time was taken up with these when I could have been watching much better, entertaining movies. So thank you for watching. Please comment below if you can think of any worse movies. I hope you enjoyed this review. Please like and subscribe to our channel and look out for more of our amateur movie reviews soon.